Hey guys, YouTube Arnold here. Okay, and like I said in my last video, now here I am with the retro No Way Out review that I said I was gonna make. And so yeah, for this review, this is gonna be a review for No Way Out 2002. So yeah, this is a show that I have seen like quite a lot over the years, and yeah, this was kind of like in a really strange time for the WWF because yeah, between like the it was like between like the invasion and the brand split, and yeah, this was just like a really like strange time for the WWF. Well, I shouldn't say strange, but kind of like yeah, kind of like an odd time because yeah, it just kind of felt weird because yeah, this was just like in the ending days of the Attitude Era. Yeah, the Attitude Era like ended at like, well, of course, like it ended at WrestleMania 18, as I've said before. Like a lot of people say it ended at WrestleMania 17, but yeah, that's really just like when it started, and like WrestleMania 18 was when it completely ended. So yeah, this was in the final like month or so of the Attitude Era, and yeah, and it's just like it was just kind of like a really like just a very just like odd period between like after the invasion ended and when they started the brand split. Like it was just like they were just pretty much doing like anything they really could just to like fill in the gaps or just like give the people like anything that they could really give them at the time. Yeah, and so yeah, so I've heard some people say like they felt that like it was kind of like a mediocre time for the company during this time, and yeah, I mean, yeah, this probably really wasn't like in the truly like best time for the WWF. Yeah, it was kind of just like an up and down sort of time. Yeah, and that is kind of like an example of this like pay per view because this pay per view, it is just kind of like yeah, it really just like really is all over the place. This pay per view, I mean, yeah, some things are good, some things are bad. I mean, yeah, it is just like all over the place on this pay per view. So yeah, I really don't know whether or not I can really call this a good show or a bad show because it's just so mixed. Like I said, like some matches on the show were good, some matches on the show were bad, and yeah, and it just is like just it keeps on alternating throughout the show. Like really just have like a real mixture of good and bad scattered across the show. So I really don't know whether or not I can call this show a good show or a bad show because it's just so mixed on it. Yeah, yeah. So I really don't know like what to really say about it because yeah, I just really it is just like so mixed. I really just cannot give like a true verdict on this. But yeah, there is at least like some stuff on the show to check out, and yeah, it really is not like anything like absolutely like terrible either. So I don't know, like if you are looking for something just to like some pastime, but nothing that really is like a true classic, nothing that is a must see. If you're just like trying to find something that is really just kind of just that's something like just like borderline and down the middle, and it'll I guess like this would be one of those shows to check out. So yeah. So yeah, but I really don't know like what I can really say. I mean, of course, like this event is like does have like the three big matches or which are like really like huge like main event caliber matches with like the main three matches on the show, which are like the last three matches on the show. Yeah, but yeah, and the rest of the show, I don't know. The rest of the show just kind of like seems like yeah, it just seems like kind of like matches that you could just like see on regular TV. So yeah, so I don't know. I guess like the show was really most known for like the three main matches of the show, though and such. Yeah. So yeah. So I just really don't know what else to say about it because yeah, there is just not really a whole lot I can say. Oh, I guess I should say that also like for this show, No Way Out 2002. Yeah, I remember I did actually try reviewing this show like years ago, but yeah, that review really didn't turn out like the way that I had hoped for it. So yeah, I took it down. So yeah, and since like it didn't really turn out the way I wanted to the last time I reviewed it years ago, I figured I could do it again. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I decided to like pick this show to review since I already tried it before and it didn't work out. Give it another try. And hopefully, yeah, this one will turn out okay. I mean, of course, like if you're watching this, I've obviously posted it, and I feel that it is just fine. All right, but anyway, okay. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot I can really say about it. So yeah, so I guess I'll just like talk about card on the show itself. Yeah. So yeah, so of course, like going into the show, like one of the like big things going into it was of course Vince McMahon bringing in the NWO because yeah, ever since like the previous month of the Royal Rumble, Vince just like went like absolutely like insane and stuff, just saying that like Ric Flair was really gonna like just destroy the WWF and he was not gonna let Ric Flair do it. That he would kill his own creation himself, and so he felt that he had to inject the WWF with poison. So he brought in the NWO. Yeah, and yes, and so yeah, the show opened up with the debut of the NWO. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. And really, just why are you opening the show with this? Like I mean, don't you really just like want to like build up of the arrival of them, like have it seem like they're nowhere to be seen or anything. People just like waiting for them to show up, and just nothing is around with them, and then just like build it up throughout the entire night. Then finally have them like debut at like the end of the show. But why are you doing it like this? Yeah, I mean, just like all the anticipation for it, like build it up like throughout the entire night, have everybody talking about it, and just like build it all up throughout the entire night. But no, they have them come out in the opening of the show. I mean, seriously, I mean, this just really just like killed all the anticipation, and pretty much like it was like one of the biggest things that people really were anticipating for the show, and it's like just you just threw it all out the window right away. You just like blew it all off right at the start of the show, and plus, yeah, just and of course, like the NWO was like the evil force of wrestling. Like, of course, like in the WCW, they were like that evil force invading the company, taking it down, and yeah, and the problem here was just like the fans were actually like cheering the NWO, like they were happy to see them, especially Hulk Hogan. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, and this promo, like the NWO were like just like cutting a promo in the ring, saying like they're just like looking for a chance and they just want to make the WWF better, and yeah, they just like were wanting a chance from the fans. Like Vince McMahon gave them a chance. Yeah, all this stuff, just like trying to like lead people on that they changed, even though like everybody knew that was a lie. Yeah, but yeah, really just why are they? I mean, why do you introduce the NWO this way instead of just like building up throughout the entire night? Right, and finally have them appear at the end. Like, why are you doing it like this? Yeah, so yeah, this really was not a good way to introduce the NWO, and plus, yeah, and everybody knows about how the NWO run in the WWE went. So yeah, this just really just didn't help them out either. Yeah, and throughout the night, like it just showed like the NWO like backstage, like they came across like guys like Stone Cold and The Rock, and they were trying to be like genuous to the other guys, but yeah, none of them were buying it. Like they offered Stone Cold a gift of beer, and he just like threw it away. Yeah, and then they came across The Rock, but then they made a comment, and The Rock just was just antagonizing them and just mocking them and all that. Yeah, yeah, and of course, like I mean, then we got like what happened at the end of the show where like they did redeem themselves somewhat there, but yeah, that just should have been like there when they actually first appeared on the show, right at the very end. Yeah. All right. But anyways, yeah, let me just talk about the card on the show. All right. So the first match on the show was a tag team turmoil match to determine the number one contenders for the tag team championship at WrestleMania. Yeah. And yeah, overall, this was solid enough, I guess. I mean, yeah, the tag team division probably really wasn't like at the best at its best during this time, because yeah, some of the teams in this match were like pretty like just yeah, kind of just like shows that like the tag team division kind of like what was in a decline at this time, because in this match you had like a tag teams like uh Scotty 2 Hotty and Albert, Christian and Lance Storm, and Billy and Chuck. Looking up, yeah, yeah, but yeah, in this match you also did have like the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, and the APA in there. So I mean, the tag team division, like, of course, there's been like really like terrible, like the tag team division has been much worse than this, like particularly like how it is now. But yeah, still like yeah, the tag team division like did see better days than how it was during this time. But yeah, this match like it was overall it was solid, I guess. Yeah, It started off with Scotty 2 Hottie and Albert against Christian and Lance Storm. Yeah, and they did like go at it for a few minutes, yeah, and then eventually uh Scotty 2 Hottie had the worm interrupted by Lance Storm as he was trying to do it on Christian, but yeah, then Scotty 2 Hottie tried to fight Lance Storm off. Christian then hit an unprettier on Scotty 2 Hottie and was able to pin him. So then, yeah, well, that eliminates Sky Too Hottie and Albert. And then the next team that entered were the Hardy Boys, and yeah, and this was like the Hardy Boys return to action. Yeah, they were like kind of like on the shelf for a little while prior to this. Like, of course, like a couple of months earlier in like December 2001, like the Undertaker had like taken out the Hardys and Lita, and so yeah, the Hardy Boys were kind of like out of commission for a little bit. Like they did appear like in the Royal Rumble match the month before, but yeah, they really weren't like didn't like officially return to action until like right here. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, the Hardy Boys then then and yeah, they were able to like take out Christian and Sky Duhati and eliminated them. Yeah, and then next up the Dudley Boys came out, and yeah, and of course like this was the best part of the match, like the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys going at it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys then like were like battling it out with each other. Yeah, yeah, and it was nice like that. You had like Lito, of course, in the Hardy Boys corner, and Stacy Keibler in the Dudley Boys corner. Yeah, and at one point in the match, uh, Matt was like getting the upper hand on Bubba Ray Dudley, about to give him a twist of fate. Stacy then got into the ring, tried to attack Matt, but then Lita got in and took down Stacy Keibler. Yeah, yeah, and then as then Bubba would then try to go after Lita. Matt then like saved Lita, but then yeah, Lita then like hit Bubba with a Hurricane Rana. Yeah, yeah, and then eventually Matt was able to like roll up Devon and pin him. So yeah, the Dudley Boys then got eliminated. But then yeah, after the Dudleys got eliminated, they just like laid out the Hardy Boys. Boys in the ring. Yeah, they took out Jeff on the outside of the ring, and then yeah, they also like laid out Matt on the in the ring. Yeah. And then the next team to enter was Billy and Chuck, and yeah, Billy and Chuck just like made quick work of the Hardys. Yeah, I mean Jeff was just like laid out on the floor, and then yeah, they just like took out Matt very quickly and pinned him. Yeah, and then the final team to enter the match was the APA. Yeah. And so yeah, the APA and Billy and Chuck they like went at it for a few minutes, and then eventually Bradshaw hit a huge clothesline from hell that like flipped Billy completely over. Yeah, and then yeah, Bradshaw was able to pin Billy, and yeah, the APA got the win. And yeah, the APA, like the stipulation for this match, like I said, was like the winning team would be the number one contenders for the tag team championship at WrestleMania. But yeah, but the APA winning in this match really didn't really like do anything because yeah, of course, like at WrestleMania, like we know like what did happen with the tag team title match at WrestleMania. So the stipulation for this match kind of seemed like pretty like useless, and yeah, and this match kind of did seem pretty useless as well, given that like the APA weren't even like the only ones to really challenge for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. So yeah, so this match and the stipulation was pretty useless, but yeah, it was still overall a solid match. So I'd probably give that about like 3 stars. Yeah. And then next up, then we had Goldust versus Rob Van Dam. And yeah, this was a pretty good match right here. I mean, I know that this storyline was like pretty forgettable. Like, yeah, I'm not sure how many of you actually do remember the storyline. Like in the weeks leading up to the show, like Goldust like had some vignettes on, you know, it's saying that like he was like after like a his, Goldust was like targeting somebody, but it wasn't revealed who it was until like just a couple of weeks prior to this event where Goldust finally revealed it was RVD. Yeah, yeah. So then, yeah, yeah, and then like it led to this match, and yeah, like I said, this was a pretty good match overall. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel that sometimes just a lot of people really do like overlook a lot of the good matches that Goldust has had because of just like Goldust is because of Goldust's gimmick, people really don't really think of like a lot of the really good matches that he's had, and this is one of them. Yeah, this was actually a pretty good back and forth match here. Like at one point, like RVD ended up missing a 5-star frog splash on Goldust, and Goldust executed a DDT on RVD. Yeah, in this match, like there were like a lot of counters. Like RVD countered a curtain call by Goldust. Yeah, and then RVD also countered a bulldog from Goldust, and yeah, Goldust also was able to counter some moves from RVD. So yeah, it was like a back and forth match between the two of them with a lot of counters and near falls. Yeah, it was a pretty good match right here. Yeah, then eventually, then RVD was able to get the win after hitting a 5-star frog splash on Goldust. So yeah, so this was a pretty forgotten rivalry, but yeah, this was a pretty good match. I mean, yeah, if you're looking for a like a interesting match with Goldust in it, yeah, this was like one of those matches to check out. Yeah, because yeah, this was a pretty good match. So I would probably give this match around, I guess 3.25. Yeah, yeah. And then next up, then we had the tag team championship on the line. It was Tazz and Spike Dudley defending against Booker T and Test. And yeah, this match really was not that good. I mean, this is kind of like another example of what I was just talking about with the tag team division. How, yeah, the tag division really was not at its best at this time because, yeah, these two teams were like pretty bad and forgettable, as was this match. And this really just kind of seemed like TV quality. I mean, it was just kind of like the two teams going back and forth with each other, uh Tess at one point like tried to pin Taz, but yeah, Tess was like using the ropes for leverage at one point. Now Taz at one point, well, not Taz, a Spike also like tried to go for like a Dudley dog on I forgot if it was Booker T or Tess, but yeah, it just turned it into a bulldog. Yeah, and yeah, this match was like pretty forgettable. Like I really do not remember much from this match at all. Yeah, but yeah, but I did think that the ending was kind of nice. Where yeah, this was still like at the time when Teth like had immunity from when he won that immunity battle royal at Survivor Series. So yeah, this was like when Teth was kind of just doing like anything he wanted to because he wasn't gonna get fired for it. And yeah, Tess like tried to shove the referee, but yeah, the referee then just shoved Tess back, and then Tess just like fell back into a Taz mission and he tapped out. So yeah, so Taz and Spike Dudley retained the tag team titles. So yeah, so this really was not very good, and yeah, just like I said, another example of like how the tag division really wasn't not at its best at this time. So that match I would probably give it around like I don't know. I guess I would give that like I don't know 2.25. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that. Yeah. And then next up, then we had the Intercontinental Championship on the line. It was William Regal, defending the title against Edge in a brass knuckles on a pole match. So, yeah. So, yeah. Like I have said before about like pole matches, I'm really not a fan of these. I mean, yeah, like if you remember like what I was saying about like the biker chain match between Brock Lesnar and Undertaker at No Mercy 2003, yeah, what I was talking about that match, that's kind of like the case here too. Because, yeah, of course, like by the title of the match, brass knuckles on a pole. Yeah, of course, like this was like when William Regal was using the brass knuckles. So yeah, in this match, like there were brass knuckles hanging on a pole in the corner of the ring, and yeah, and they were saying that like whoever was able to like retrieve the brass knuckles could use them any way they chose once they were retrieved. But yeah, but like I was saying in the match with like Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, where the chain was on a pole, just this really just like makes the combatants kind of look stupid because yeah, like of course like there were a bunch of attempts in this match to go to retrieve the brass knuckles, but the opponent would end up like stopping them from retrieving them. Like seriously, why are you stopping them from trying to retrieve the Nugs? Just let them retrieve the Nugs, then attack them, and then the Nugs will just be fair game. Like really, these matches like WWF and WWE or WWE, they just really do not do these right, and they just make the combatants look stupid for stopping their opponent from retrieving the weapon on the pole. Like, and plus also like they even like JR even like said at one point that you don't even have to necessarily use the brass knuckles on the match. Like you could pin your opponent before they're even retrieved. So yeah, so even then like they even brought up that the knuckles didn't even have to be like actually used in the match. So really just that defeats the purpose of the match too. So yeah, just yeah, these pole matches really just are not done right, and it always just makes the combatants look stupid for stopping their opponent from retrieving them when just like when they are retrieved, they'll just be fair game. It's not like just whoever retrieves them are the only ones that get to use them. So yeah, so these pole matches I just find dumb because they don't do them right and they just make the combatants look like morons. Yeah. But as far as like the in-ring work in the match itself, it was solid enough, I guess. I mean, I really do think that the other matches that they had were better. Like I've talked before about like the match they had at Vengeance a couple of months earlier, and the match they had at the Royal Rumble the month before, and those were better matches than they had here. And I really do feel that the reason that I do feel they were better was because of the stipulation for the match, and it just really did make them look like idiots for stopping the opponent from trying to retrieve the nuts on the pole. Yeah, yeah, it was kind of like back and forth with action between the two of them, and they would like be constantly stopping their opponent from retrieving the nuts, looking like morons. Yeah, and then there was like one spot in the match where I'm not sure if it was a botch or if it was like supposed to be done like this, but yeah, you had like the two of them like on the ring apron, and then William Regal like attempted to go for a power bomb on Edge, but then yeah, and then they like pulled it off as like Edge reversed it and attempted a Hurricane Rana on William Regal, but I don't know. I'm not sure if like that's how it was supposed to be, or if like just Edge slipped from William Regal's grip as he was attempting the powerbomb, or what the case was. But yeah, it just kind of looked weird, and I'm not sure like how it was supposed to go. Yeah, and then yeah, and it showed like Edge was kind of like bleeding pretty badly from the mouth here too. Yeah, and stuff. Yeah. But then eventually, yeah, William Regal was able to retrieve the brass knuckles, but then Edge like just suplexed William Regal off the turnbuckle, yeah. And then Edge tried to like grab the nuts, but William Regal was able to kick them out of the ring. And then yeah, William Regal then like tried to fight Edge, but yeah, Edge then just like a nailed William Regal with an execution. Yeah. Then as like Edge went for the brass knucks on the outside of the ring, as he retrieved them, as he like put the knucks on and was setting up to nail William Regal with them, as he like got William Regal up to his knees, William Regal then nailed Edge with another pair of brass knucks he had hidden in his tights. And then yeah, then that allowed William Regal to pin Edge and get the win and retain the Intercontinental title. So yeah, so the in-ring action itself was decent enough, but yeah, just the problem with it was just the stipulation and how they handled it. Like I said, just stopping the opponent from retrieving the nuts, it just made them look stupid. When they retrieve, they would just become fair game. They should just let the opponent retrieve the nuts and then attack them. And plus they didn't even have to necessarily be using the match, which just totally defeats the purpose of the stipulation altogether. So yeah, so due to that, that really does affect the rating of the match. So I would probably give the match like I don't know, I would give that probably like 2.5 stars. All right. All right, and then next up, then we had The Rock versus The Undertaker, and yeah, this was a pretty good match right here. Yeah, I thought that this really was kind of like an interesting rivalry for The Rock in between like his feud with Chris Jericho, like going for the Undisputed title and stuff, and the one with Hulk Hogan leading into WrestleMania. I felt this was kind of like a interesting way to kind of like do something different with The Rock. And not really have him continue going on for the title, and before he actually like would feud with Hulk Hogan leading into WrestleMania. Yeah, thought it was interesting. I thought this story was kind of interesting, where like just this was like of course during the time when the Undertaker was like wanting respect and everything, and he felt that The Rock disrespected him after like mentioning that a Maven eliminated him from the Royal Rumble and all that stuff. And so yeah, the Undertaker like ended up like just he cost The Rock an opportunity at the Undisputed title, and he nailed The Rock with his lead pipe. And yeah, The Rock like retaliated in costing the Undertaker the hardcore title against Maven, and yeah, The Rock also and then the Undertaker, like in retaliation for that, ended up attacking The Rock and chokeslammed him on a limo and tombstoned him on the hood of the limo. Yeah. So yeah, this feud really did get pretty personal. Where like Undertaker really was like looking for respect, and The Rock was looking for retribution. And this was a pretty good match right here. I mean, yeah, I've talked about it before. How really just The Rock and the Undertaker always really did have like while their feuds were always like really short lived, they really were like very interesting feuds. Yeah. And this was another example of that. Yeah, they did have like a pretty good match right here. Yeah, I saw a Lundrick's review of the show, and he said that he feels that just The Rock and the Undertaker, he feels that like The Rock and the Undertaker just really didn't have very good chemistry in their matches, and they never clicked. And that's not the case at all. Like they did have like some good matches, and they did have like good chemistry. Yeah, yeah. And I did think that this was pretty good. Like they really did go back and forth. Like the Undertaker, of course, was like targeting The Rock's neck due to like the tombstone that he gave Rock on the limo. Oh yeah, yeah, they were just like fighting it out. Like they like ended up like just fighting outside the ring, and they brawled in the crowd and all this stuff. Yeah, and the match like it continued to like go back and forth. Like yeah, at one point, like the Undertaker like was like just like really like beating down on The Rock real bad, and even like there was a point where like The Rock tried to like go for the people's elbow on the Undertaker, but as he was like running back towards the Undertaker got up and just grabbed The Rock by the throat and chokeslam him. But yeah, as the referee like wasn't looking, The Rock like nailed the Undertaker with a low blow, gave him a DDT. Then the Undertaker then eventually like gave Rock a chokeslam, but The Rock ended up surviving it. Then the Undertaker then just like threw the referee into the ring steps. And the Undertaker grabbed the lead pipe from his motorcycle. Like, he was gonna try to use it on The Rock, but then Ric Flair then ended up running out and tried to stop the Undertaker from doing it, and then the Undertaker just knocked Ric Flair out with a big boot. And then as the Undertaker like tried to use the lead pipe on The Rock was able to avoid it, and he got the Undertaker into a sharpshooter, and as the referee and then like recovered and got back into the ring. Vince McMahon then ended up running out, trying to distract the referee, but then The Rock then like went after Vince McMahon, but then as the referee then was like trying to get Vince out of the ring, then the Undertaker tried to get The Rock up for a tombstone, but then Ric Flair got back into the ring and nailed the Undertaker with the lead pipe, and then that allowed The Rock to get the rock bottom on the Undertaker and pin him. And so The Rock ended up getting the win. And of course, like with Ric Flair getting involved, like nailing the Undertaker, this of course like would lead to like the match between Ric Flair and Undertaker at WrestleMania that year. But this was a pretty good match overall. I mean, I would say that The Rock and Undertaker have had better matches. Like their match at King of the Ring 1999 was better, but this was still overall a pretty good match. I would give this probably 3.25. And then next up, we had Triple H versus Kurt Angle for the number one contender spot for the Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania. And in this match, you had like Stephanie McMahon as the special referee because of course like Triple H like won the Royal Rumble and like of course like earned the title shot at WrestleMania, but of course like Kurt Angle like threw a fit about it, and Vince McMahon like made this match between them for the title shot on the line. And of course like this was also like when like the Triple H and Stephanie feuds was like going on because in the weeks leading up to this like it showed that like the relationship with Triple H and Stephanie was falling apart, and in an attempt to what we thought would patch things up between them, Stephanie wanted to renew her and Triple H to renew their wedding vows, and to get Triple H to agree to it, she told them she was pregnant, but then it was later on revealed that she was lying about the whole thing, and then Triple H then just told Stephanie they were through. So and this was during the time when they were divorced, and yeah, Stephanie said that she was going to be the referee for this match, of course, like giving Triple H even more of a disadvantage in the match, yeah. And of course, and yeah, and Stephanie's referee outfit here, just damn, yeah. I just like that outfit that she was wearing, just, oh man. I mean, one of the best looking referees ever, right? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, about the match itself, yeah, the match overall, yeah, this was a really good match. Yeah, this was definitely the match of the night. Yeah, this was just a really, really good match here. Yeah, of course, like early on, Stephanie, of course, was like being like, trying to screw Triple H. Like, whenever Kurt Angle got the cover, Stephanie attempted a quick count, but Triple H, of course, was able to, like, kick out of everything, yeah. And of course, like, when Triple H was, like, trying to get Kurt Angle in pin, Stephanie wasn't even counting. Yeah, yeah. And even like early on in the match, you could like hear some people chanting to Stephanie, "Take your top off." Yeah, so even the fans were aroused by Stephanie's referee outfit. Yeah, but then yeah, then at one point, then Kurt Angle tried to clothesline Triple H, but Triple H moved out of the way, and then Kurt Angle accidentally clotheslined Stephanie, knocking her out. Yeah, and so then it appeared that Stephanie had been like taken out of the match. Yeah, and so then yeah, then as they continued to go at it, then like Tim White came in to officiate the match. Yeah, and yeah, the match just like went back and forth between Triple H and Kurt Angle. Angle, yeah, and then yeah, and then at one point, then Kurt Angle then just laid out Tim White, attacking him from behind. Yeah, then yeah, yeah, and then yeah, after like Kurt Angle got Triple H down, then like Stephanie ended up coming back, though she was hurt, and yeah, she wasn't even able to do a quick count. Like she counted like really, really slow. So yeah, then yeah, Kurt Angle tried to get Triple H in an ankle lock, but Triple H then just like kicked Kurt Angle right into Stephanie, laying Stephanie out again. Yeah, yeah. Then yeah, then Triple H then attempted to then hit a DDT on Kurt Angle, but yeah, but then yeah, then like of course like there was no referee there. Triple H tried to revive Tim White, but yeah, Kurt Angle just like threw Triple H into Tim White, taking him out again. Yeah, then Kurt Angle then like tried to hit Triple H with a chair, but Triple H was able to duck from it, and then Triple H then hit a pedigree on Kurt Angle. Then yeah, then as Triple H tried to go for a cover, Tim White then like recovered, and then yeah, Tim White came back into the ring, attempted to make the count, but as he was, Stephanie also recovered and attacked Tim White, which I thought was funny. And then she just yelled at Tim White that she was the referee, then just like nailed him right in the balls, and then just threw him out of the ring. Yeah, then Triple H was gonna go after Stephanie. He was about to pedigree Stephanie, but then yeah, Kurt Angle then nailed Triple H a couple of times with the chair, and then gave him an angle slam, and then yeah, Kurt Angle then was able to pin Triple H and get the win, and then yeah, Kurt Angle like became number one contender for WrestleMania there. But of course, like the next night on Raw, like Ric Flair made a rematch between Kurt Angle and Triple H without Stephanie as the referee, which of course Triple H won to regain the title shot. So yeah, but yeah, this was a really good match, like I said. And plus, yeah, you just had the sight of Stephanie in that referee outfit that she was, and so yeah, so not really a whole lot to complain about for that match, right? So yeah, so I would probably give that match around 3.5 stars. I mean, yeah, of course, like both guys have done better work, but yeah, this was still a really good match. And then we got the main event for the Undisputed Championship: Chris Jericho defending against Stone Cold. And quite honestly, this really was not very good. Yeah, I mean, this match it wasn't horrible, but for a match with Chris Jericho and Stone Cold, this was a pretty big disappointment. I mean, man, I mean, this just was like pretty boring and mediocre, really. Just, there really wasn't anything memorable about this match at all. I mean, it really just mostly consisted of like, just punches and chopping and stuff. there really weren't like any like cool or memorable spots in the match at all. Like it was mostly just like I said, it was just like really just like punching and chopping for most of it. Like they did like brawl like outside of the ring, like up to the entranceway and stuff, but yeah, it really was not that interesting. Like yeah, I mean, and it's kind of a shame because you figure that like with at least with the match that they had at Vengeance for the Undisputed title, you can kind of see like why it really wasn't like any like true like real big classic or anything, given that both guys had already wrestled a match before with Chris Jericho not even having any rest. But here, both guys were like fresh and well rested. So I mean, why didn't their match here turn out very good? I don't really know. I don't know if like one of these guys were just like injured or hurt or sick or something, but yeah, whatever the case may be, yeah, this still just was not a very good match. Actually, you did like have Chris Jericho kind of like trying to use some dirty tactics here, but even then, just it really wasn't that interesting. Like at one point, as the referee was distracted, Chris Jericho hit a low blow on Stone Cold and hit like two lion salts, but Stone Cold was able to survive it. Have it like at one point, like as the referee was like knocked down, like Chris Jericho retrieved the WWF title and tried to hit Stone Cold with it, but Stone Cold was able to uh, avoid it, and then Stone Cold then just like hit a spine buster on Chris Jericho right onto the title belt. Well, yeah, and then like later on, like Chris Jericho then just like hit like a skull crushing finale on a Stone Cold onto the title belt, but Stone Cold survived it. Yeah. Then at one point, as Chris Jericho like was trying to like launch himself at Stone Cold, the Stone Cold moved out of the way, and Chris Jericho accidentally he nailed the referee, knocking the referee out. Yeah. And then Chris Jericho then Stone Cold had Chris Jericho on the walls of Jericho, and Chris Jericho did tap out, but the referee was knocked out. Yeah, and then as like Stone Cold like let go of the whole like going to trying to revive the referee, then Chris Jericho then charged at Stone Cold, but Stone Cold was able to then hit the stunner on Chris Jericho. But then the NWO came out, and then they ended up all like beating down Stone Cold, and then and then with Stone Cold beaten down, then that allowed Chris Jericho to put the referee back in the ring and just cover Stone Cold and pin him just like that. So Chris Jericho won the match and retained the title. And then of course like afterwards, then like the NWO beat down Stone Cold some more, and then they branded Stone Cold spray painting NWO on his back. So so this would have been a much better time for the NWO to debut than everything that we saw from them before, with them cutting the promo at the opening of the show, and then just like all the segments with them backstage throughout the night. Yeah, this would have been much better for them. Like no sight of them for the entire night, just like talking about it and just awaiting them, and then they finally appeared here. That would have been a much better introduction for them. Yeah. But yeah, this match overall, it really was not very good at all. I mean, it was pretty boring throughout. And funnily enough, this was also like Stone Cold's very last WWF Championship match in his career. So yeah, kind of interesting that this was his final match for the title. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it really was not that good. It was just very boring for the most part. So yeah, so I would probably just give that match around like 2 stars. Yeah. So overall with the show, I guess I would give it probably around a 6 out of 10. I mean, there is some good stuff on here. Like I said, like the tag team turmoil match, like it is solid. RVD versus Goldust is pretty good. Uh, Rock versus Kurt, The Rock versus Undertaker is pretty good, and Triple H versus Kurt Angle was also really good. But yeah, the rest of the matches really are not all that good. Like I said, the brass knuckles on a pole, just dumb stipulations, and the way they handled it was just dumb. Tag team title match really wasn't very good, and Stone Cold and Chris Jericho, probably the biggest disappointment of the night, just not very good at all, which is a shame. So like I said, it really is just all over the place with the show. So I really don't know whether or not to really recommend it. Like I said, if you're looking for like a true wrestling classic, this is not that. But if you're just like looking for something that is just kind of decent, like not really anything a must see, but just something to kill time, I guess this is fine to check out. So yeah, so it really just comes down to what show you're looking for. But yeah, it is just like really all over the place with the show. All right. So yeah, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. All right. So yeah, so this is it for my review of No Way Out 2002. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.